Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
The Black Tax. There's an African proverb that says, "It is not necessary to blow out another person's lantern to let yours shine." Oftentimes, I am put in situations because of the way I problem solve. And there was a gentleman who I had met through my music days, had a potential deal with a network for a TV series centered around music. And he had pulled together all the contacts that he had, different people from different walks of life. Some of them were lawyers, some were, investors, some was writers, producers. It was a combination of people, multiracial across different age groups and generations. And so we were having a meeting and he wanted me to be a part of it. And he asked me to put some things together and I, did what he asked. I put together a business plan, an investment document, and a 3-year projection, profit and loss statement, as well as potential risk, something I try to include in everything I do, a cross-collateralization, which is how do you use other streams of income to offset losses from the main portion of the business so that you stay afloat even in the lean times. So we're sitting in this meeting and he has hired these two white men who have MBAs. Now I have a JD and my focus is intellectual property. And their MBAs, one is from Harvard and one is from Yale. And we're all about the same age. So we're sitting in the meeting and I never give anyone a digital copy. I'm going through the PowerPoint presentation, which is on my computer that's being shown on a screen. And they're going through it and they're looking at it and they're taking notes and they're doing what they need to do. So one of the gentlemen after the presentation was over, it's like, well, that looks great and it works really well. But my partner and I, we need to see the actual financial, we need to actually see the projections, the 3-year financials. And I said, you have a copy of the 3-year financial. No, we have a summary of the 3-year financial. Okay. And we have the PowerPoint, which is an overview. We can review it, give you our notes on it, and then we can figure out how we move forward. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And so the client was like, well, I don't understand. I said, sir, I can sit here with them. We can talk about it. We can go through it. We can make it work and do anything that they need to do. But what I am not about to do is to hand them over what I worked on so that they can then take it, change it, make money from it, pay me absolutely nothing for it, and move on from there. When I tell you them white folks got beat red, like, oh, we would never do that. You made the assumption that because I did it, I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't make the assumption. I did the assessment. You two don't know what you're talking about. Number one. Number two, you have no concept of how money is made in this business. And you are hoping that the work that I did, you can then take and use it as a model, if not use it verbatim, to create what you need to create in order to make all this work. And I'm not going to be a part of that. The client was like, Malik has a point. So if you guys want to get together and walk through it, I think we can do that. But I don't think, it's a good thing to do that, especially since he's done all the work. And they did everything in their power to convince the individual who had hired us all to do this. Long story short, the network executives changed. They were no longer interested in the show. And so everything kind of died on the vine. However, I still maintain my intellectual property. Oftentimes, as Black professionals, we are thrown into these spaces with other individuals who come from these alleged school of intellect, and we've all bought into the hype of this image of what these schools are. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who's of going to an Ivy League school. I think if that's what they wanted, that's what was best for them, and that's a great thing. It wasn't for me. When I was applying to schools, my concern was who's paying for me to go to their school, not what school am I going to. Because it was about a financial understanding for me, not wanting to have to pay for college or grad school or law school or whatever the case may be. I wanted a free education. And I got my free education. But that did not mean that because I went to a city university or I went to law school that's not top 10, top 20, makes me less intelligent about a particular topic when that particular topic has been my entire focus. Or you are a part of a team and you do all the work, which is often why the Black tax is attached to us, and your white counterpart take ownership of it as if they did all the work and you didn't do anything, because they expect us not to speak up and say what it is. Be proud of what you create. Be proud of the work that you do. Don't let anyone on your team ever diminish you that what you brought to the table wasn't a contribution, and how much of the contribution you brought to the table that made all the other minor contributions function as a collective. We are expected to always take less than what we are deserving. And deserving is what we need to learn more of. I own it. I created it. It's mine. I'm not sharing it. If you want to work together, we can work together. We can build upon it together. But I take top billing no matter what. And if that's a problem for you, then I'm going to stop here and I'm going to move on. We often think that if we don't do this, we may not get another opportunity. Maybe that's God's way of saying, this ain't what you're supposed to have. Maybe this is not the path you're supposed to take. If you don't stand up for what you believe in, then you will fall down for everything that is given. Remember, your contributions are just as good, if not better, than your white counterparts. The hard work you put in is always going to be more than what they do, and it should be acknowledged. And if it's not acknowledged, then it's time for you to move on to the next phase of your life or your next employer, who will appreciate your time, your energy, your effort, and your intelligence. When things don't go the way you think they should go, I'm not saying throw in the towel, but when you're the one doing all the work and you're not getting the appreciation, you're not getting the support, all you're getting are the people taking it, it's time for you to say, this is where I get off on this ride. I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. Remember this. They hired you because they saw something in you. They hired you because they saw your talent. Don't let the people around you who don't have your talent steal your talent. Stay woke. We out.